Raid's got a pretty good score on the Google Play and Apple Store. So I don't know. I thought it would be kind of fun for us to read some of the reviews that people are leaving for Raid, just to kind of get a feel for the sentiment. Who's feeling moved enough by the game, one way or the other, to go actually leave a review. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I thought it might be kind of interesting for us to do this together. So let's jump over and take a look. We'll just start at the top. We'll go down. We'll read a few just to get a vibe. We got a 1-star review straight out of the gate here. The game crashes way too often. Recently going for the fusion, had only 5 fragments from getting the final epic. Put more than twice the amount of auto battles to get it done, and the game crashed before hitting the final frags. That's a real bummer, dude. When I addressed my frustration with being penalized for their game crashing, the support team basically told me SOL, and that it would be unfair. I'm going to uninstall this game because they really don't care about their players. Rip the dream, man. That's rough. Next up, we got a 3-star, so middle of the line. Not thrilled with it, but don't hate it either. Overall summary of the game has got fantastic strategic depth with mediocre gameplay. Goal is mostly to build teams that can auto fight successfully, so then you spend a lot of time watching the gameplay itself. He's not wrong. Constant offers at you to spend money, lots of grinding. You can spend forever planning the best way to build and gear your teams and have a lot of fun doing that. Fun with room for improvement. I think that's a pretty fair analysis of the game. There must be something fun about it, right? Another 1-star. It's boring with little to do. Interesting. Little to do. I don't know that Raid gets accused much these days of having little to do. I think it's quite the opposite. The missions and clan quests are ridiculous. The drop rates are terrible. The upgrade chances are terrible. Even with a high chance of success, it'll still fail. End up wasting your money just trying to upgrade equipment and removing equipment since it costs money to remove. They should have a success after so many fails. You nickel and dime with everything. Yeah, also a fair assessment of the game. I don't know that I agree that there's little to do. I think some would argue, I think most would argue there's probably a little too much to do. I think people would be more on that side of it than the other. But everybody's got their taste. It's interesting too it'd be interesting to know what some of these people's background are. Is Raid their first mobile game? Is Raid their first gacha game? Is Raid how much experience? How much do they know about the space? You know what I mean? 3 stars. Super fun game for the first 4 months with the promo code you start off with. About 10k energy. It's kind of easy to figure out. Plus, there are YouTube channels to help you. Once you run out of energy for the first time, the game drags down to almost half. To almost a halt. I'm sorry. Losing interest really fast. I'm going to see what happens over the next month, but probably uninstalling soon. Okay. I mean, yeah, they definitely design it in a way for new players to think like, oh, this is great. This will be easy. There's energy, but they constantly give it to you. And then they get you to a point where resources kind of dry up a bit. But I have to say at this point, if you're playing the game, there's enough to do. And I think the game does a decent job of giving you resources to play the game, right? You get quite a bit of energy daily from various places. It's very hard to run out of arena tokens. There's always 3v3 arena if you're looking to extend your amount of time in the game. 2-star. Now, what I'm interested in is that they have like a 4.6 or 4.7, and the highest we've seen so far is 3. Here we've got a 2-star. Been playing for over a year. Latest update has me stuck at the loading screen. Fixed by uninstalling and reinstalling. There doesn't seem to be any info out there that states that if you download through the Play Store, you don't need to type in any login information, and I was initially concerned I'd lose progress if I couldn't recover my account. But that said, the website specifies info for iOS, Mac, and Windows, but not. I'm not even sure exactly what the problem here is, but fine. Here's our first 5-star review. Okay, let's do it. This is one of the only games I haven't uninstalled after a few days of playing. The pop-up ads are easily dismissed. I mean, sure, technically they are. You just have to click out of them. Can't argue that, I guess. PvP isn't exactly forced. Okay, also technically true, I guess. I mean, no, it depends on what you mean forced. It's not forced as in it loads you in and makes you do it, but it's forced if you want to get through the missions to get Arbiter. It's forced if you want to level up your Great Hall. It's forced for some things. Multitude of characters to get depending on your luck or wallet. The only thing that was disappointing was the shortness of the campaign. Interesting. You run through that rather quickly, then repeat on to the hardest mode, then you're done. More campaigns, please. Interesting. I've wondered if there were people out there who like cared about the campaign, who were following the story and were interested in it. I get the impression this person was with like a little bit more lore in the game. Fine. I mean, they're not wrong. The campaign is not very long, and then there's 4 difficulties of it now. It's the same thing over and over. Sure, I can get with that. You're into the lore. Great. 5-star review. Okay. Very good. 3 stars. I'm editing my review having played for about 4 months now. I think there needs to be more opportunities for people who can't afford to pay for a lot of the offers. Progression slows down immensely without busting out the credit cards. I've even spent a fair amount on the game and have only been lucky enough to pull 2 legendary champions. Legendary tomes are too hard to obtain for free to play. Also make the cost of unequipping artifacts a lot less. Yeah, I agree. Y'all know I've been on them since I started playing the game. That we need a free gear removal day once a month. It doesn't cost anything. That is so healthy for the game. It's so healthy for testing. It's so healthy for the game. It's such a big fun day. Summoner's War does it, and it's such a big day in the community. I don't know that it still is relevant because I think they started doing like free gear removal tickets and stuff, so you don't have to wait on that day. But the game's like 8 years old at this point. But that was such a big day in the community. It was such a big, fun day. It was great for account reworks, for us for the creators that are doing them for people. It's great for players. It's great if you're like, I wonder how my Rotos would hit in my Ninja's gear and stuff like that. You can wait on free gear removal day, swap a bunch of things around test. It's a lot of fun. It's really healthy in so many different ways for the game. The game needs it. The game needs it. I don't want it to be free all the time. I really don't. I think that's boring too. You could just do it whenever. There's something about having that one day a month to be able to do it is a lot of fun. I'm with you on the tomes for sure. I'm kind of with you on rare tomes. I'm hurting for rare tomes on my Rare to Go account. Give your boy some rare books. I really want to love this game, but the fact that getting an orange gold shard or even a purple shard is impossible without paying some extreme amount of money, and even though you only get 1 or 2, even then you only get 1 or 2. I get spending money in some games, but this made me delete the app. If you make getting all the shards a little easier to get, or at least accessible for a reasonable price, I might reinstall the game and recommend it to people. 2 stars. Getting shards are impossible. I uninstalled the game. I'm not going to recommend it to anybody. 2 stars, though. 3 stars. Finally decided to give it a try. I like it so far. I don't mind the grind. Champion designs are wonderful, and I like progression. My largest complaint as a free-to-play is the amount of offers that are thrown at me way too often after leaving the main hub, even if just for a few seconds. I understand offers need to be shown, but the amount of times the same deals are flashed in my face, yeah. Yes, I agree. Michael Scott? Mikhail Scott, maybe. Another 3 stars. It's a very fun and addictive game. Graphics are pretty decent for mobile. The mechanics are pretty sound. Champions are cool, and the game is overall enjoyable. I have 2 complaints. Firstly, there's way too much grind. Secondly, do not have to advertise your bundles literally every single time you enter the main screen. They do, though. Apparently, they do have to do that. Another 3. See, this is what I'm saying. This is what's interesting. They got a 4.6 or 4.7. I don't remember which one it was. We've seen 1 5-star review, and other than that, a couple 3s, and then a lot of 2s and 1s. It's okay, I guess. Tons of optional autoplay that makes running easier. Real fun begins at higher levels. Came back to it after a few years, and it is slightly improved. I would have given it 2 stars back then. I don't know. I think I have to say I think it's more than slightly improved since the beginning. It's improved quite a bit. Still got its problems, for sure. And there's some problems that are still here that it's unacceptable that they're still here. But it's, I have to say, it's more than slightly improved. Come on. They've done some stuff. 2 stars. Overall, a fairly decent game for story and amount of time you can spend playing it. Unfortunately, you will be bombarded with ads every time. See, we're seeing a trend here, huh? Very frustrating. Note to editor. From time to time should mean seldom or on occasion when you first log in, start of the game, and once an hour. Highlight the shop to signify sales. Don't be so extreme. A lot of our deals are temporary. We want to show them from time to time on the screen so that the interested players do not miss the opportunity. However, we would take your point. Yeah. We don't want you to miss out on these incredible deals we're offering. God. If the game wasn't begging for you to purchase something every time you were every review, it would be an alright game. Stop begging Shadow Legends. It makes you look desperate. I understand 1 or 2 times of showing a reminder at the beginning, but let's be realistic. Trying to keep our players posted on the time-limited deals in the game. We just care so much. It's not even about the money. We don't want you to miss out. We don't want you to not get the opportunity to spend $29.99 on a Sacred Shard. You can't miss that deal. You need that Frostbringer. 3 stars. I like the gameplay. I just don't like all the ads. Paywall. Here by this, it's irritating. You have to close multiple windows before your screen change. I do enjoy the game, and I don't mind spending a little money, but the progress of the game over the significant spend. I just want to see if it was going to talk about ads. 4 stars. I've been playing Raid for a while now. It's one of the few mobile games I've ever stuck with. I see some people say it's pay to win, but I've spent very little money on the game, and I've been able to get progress just fine. The only thing that sucks is without purchasing shards, it could take a while to get champs, especially starting out. Otherwise, I love it. Fair game. Fair review. Fun game at first. Seems like there are good rewards when you're new. The more you play, the more greedy the game gets. Not much chance to get new champs, lack of shards. When you do get new champs, you'll most often be disappointed with duplicates. The game is set up a lot like others. Set up like a lot of the others. Spend more money to win, or even be slightly satisfied. Usually the items you buy will leave you disappointed. Played for about 2 years, hoping it would get better. I'm done. RNG can be frustrating sometimes. We believe your champs are superstars. 2 star. Download it again to give a second chance, and I remember why I uninstalled. It's a mobile game, not a console or PC game. I shouldn't have to put so much damn time into it to progress. I can't auto-clear a mission to get XP mugs. A multi-battle, I'm still forced to stay in the game. Can't do something else. That's something we've been on them about. And it's a low chance. Yep. Another 2 star. Pop-ups distract from the gameplay. 3 stars. Great till today's update. Now it won't open. 5 stars. Been playing the game for a year or more. At times it's been a roller coaster ride because it takes patience and perseverance to make progress on a near free-to-play account. Sometimes it can be frustrating when you go a long time without pulling a good champ, but when you finally do, it's awesome. The game is challenging and fun. The mods devs do listen to what its player base is saying and make improvements according to feedback. Do they? Do they? I mean, it's, if you feel that way, that's great. That's a great way to feel. I'm not gonna take that away. Try this last year. Aggressive pay to win pop-ups. Unless you're willing to drop lots of money. Doesn't take long. Yep, 1 star. Always have hated the pop-ups. Love this game so much, totally recommend it, but I have a few complaints. Increased level of artifacts, the success rate drastically drops, and you end up wasting a ton of silver on failed attempts. I wish there were easier ways to earn sacred shards. Not allowed to buy in-game currency, and some of the monthly quests are impossible to complete, mainly if it has to do with friends, since I do not have any that play the game. Monthly quests are impossible to complete, mainly if it has to do with friends. What monthly quests are there that have something to do with friends? You can't even have friends in the game, can you? Wonder what they're talking about. AI is bad. The ad spam is worse. Champ trading system. No, you don't. Don't put champ trading in the game. You want to kill it? You want to kill a gacha game? Put trading in it. Absolutely not. Use a friend's rep? Sure. Fine. Add a friend system, set a rep. All your friends can use your rep 1, 2, or 3 times a day for certain content. Fine. Champ trading will absolutely kill the game. Loads and runs fairly smooth, generous even to free players. Always something to do. With energy, you can fight through dungeons. Sure. Okay, solid review. There's a 5-star. Great game. Love the objectives. Don't necessarily have to pay for anything to progress. That's true now, I would say. One thing that really needs improvement for me is the champion list themselves. I really like there's a better way to look at your champion list. Yeah, we need a search or something. And like the tags, it would be nice if you could tag them and then sort. I'm not sure. Can we sort by tags? Like if you favorite a champ, they should come up to the top and stuff. Does it do that already? I can't remember. A lot of games do that. I can't remember if Raid does it or not. All right. I mean, we see a theme here. We see a theme. It's. I think the biggest complaint is the pop-ups, which you would think after so many of those. I mean, they've got, I don't know, tens of thousands, maybe hundreds of thousands of reviews. I don't know how many reviews there are here total. I saw this after recording when I went to grab a couple screenshots. 1.76 million reviews. That is unreal. I never would have guessed. They've got more reviews than most games have downloads, dude. Jesus Christ. All right, anyway, back to it. We've read a very small sample size, but in our very small sample size, the most common thing is the pop-ups. I feel like pretty much unanimously, except for the one person who said they're easily dismissed. Which fair play. Some people are, have different levels of patience for different things. Pop-ups seem to be the biggest complaint in the game, which is interesting. And then a lot of the stuff about having to pay, which again used to be true. I think a lot of these reviews are very recent. A lot of these reviews are very recent. So I think that probably stems from maybe just mobile games having that reputation and not really understanding the space. But I will say, in Raid's defense these days, I think it's fairly free to play friendly. I don't think you have to pay to progress. If you want to be at the top of Arena, sure. If you want to reach the end game in 6 months, sure. But like, if you understand the grind and you understand what you're doing here, and you understand what the genre consists of, I don't think it's really that egregious anymore as far as like forcing you to pay. So I don't know. This was kind of fun though. Interesting. I would definitely recommend it to everyone. Yeah, we'll cut it here. I don't want this video to get too long, but this is another one that if you guys like this kind of stuff, we'll do this again. Maybe we'll hop over to the App Store next time and see what the sentiment is like over there. See if it's any different. If Android players are leaving different kinds of reviews than Apple players, for example. But yeah, I don't know. Let me know what you guys think about this. If this was a fun one, we'll do more stuff like this moving forward. So I'm gonna get out of here. I appreciate you guys watching. Hope you have a good one. Later.